3 strategies to get the monkey mind under control. This tutorial will demonstrate 3 techniques to mastering the monkey mind. Gaining control of the mind is the first step to living a fulfilling lifestyle. Most people live their lives on autopilot, being ruled by subconscious tendencies. In order to live an authentic life where we have control over what happens, we must cultivate practices to master the monkey mind. Number 1. Clean the external environment first. In order to take control of the monkey mind, it is vitally important to look back at all areas of your life and put a plan in place. The first step is simply tidying up your space. This includes your bedroom and your office environment. This is a simple yet invaluable technique that will get you in the right mindset. Try to declutter your external environment initially and remove any excess from your life. This includes social media, technology, unwanted relationships, and time-wasting practices. By cleaning the external environment first, your mind will be more amenable to calming down and relaxing. This can lay the foundation for effective meditation. Number 2. Meditation. Meditation is the most direct strategy we can deploy in order to gain command over the monkey mind. In meditation, we observe our thoughts in a non-reactive fashion. Over time, these painful thoughts lose their destructive energy. For optimal results, 20 minutes twice a day is recommended, though 20 minutes a day can be sufficient in many instances. The 2 most popular kinds of meditation are transcendental and vipassana, though there are countless others. Meditation is best learned from a skilled teacher, and having a regular routine and silent spot for your practice will generate additional benefits. Number 3. A silent retreat. To truly gain command of the mind, consider undertaking a silent retreat in a serene location in nature. Most people have no idea what true quiet and peace really are. Modern life bombards us with information and noise at all times. Even in times of relaxation, people are simply hooked into their smartphones. But a retreat in a meditative environment with limited technologies or luxuries is very effective in subduing the mind and reconnecting. Without anything external, the mind is not as psychotic trying to resolve issues that it believes to be important. When leaving the silent retreat, observe the contrast between the hectic and dysfunctional modern living and the peace of solitude. Try to bring this peace with you into your daily experience. This presentation will show you how to train the mind for personal abundance. In many ways, we must work around our brains and get rid of limiting beliefs, which inhibit our joy and happiness. This takes practice and patience. Thankfully, there are a large number of ways that we can train our brain into abundance mindsets. Number 1. Positive affirmations. To be really effective, positive affirmation should be completed at the end of a meditative session. When we meditate, the mind gets into a receptive state. This enables us to really accept the affirmations as true. So make a list of personal abundance affirmations and repeat them to yourself towards the end of a meditation. It typically takes 15 minutes for the mind to quiet down sufficiently. For added benefit, consider making an affirmation poem. The subconscious mind finds it easier to integrate poems and images as opposed to sentences. The poem will also repeat itself over and over, much as a song repeats itself subconsciously without the person hearing it. Number 2. Manifestation and visualization. In order to bring about an abundance mindset, you have to visualize it as already here. So you need to be able to imagine what a life of abundance means to you and really feel that it has materialized. This should really excite you to the core of your being, and this excitement will provide the juice for your manifestation. You must also develop the capability to ignore certain signals which indicate lack. If you focus on this lack, you will get more of it. At all possible opportunities, reorientate your perception towards abundance. A simple way to do this is to keep a gratitude journal where you list all the things that you are appreciative for. This will put you into an abundance mindset very quickly. Number 3. Simple tricks. There are many simple techniques that you can use to try to actualize an abundance mindset. One trick you can use is to get a $100 bill and put it in your pocket. Don't spend the money, but go into town and list all of the things that you can buy. You will get associated with the idea of being able to purchase anything because you will always have money. It is also helpful to look at vacation homes and luxury items and write an essay about how much you like being able to afford them. The mind cannot distinguish between fantasy and reality. The universe simply responds to whatever you are thinking right now. 4 techniques to remove limiting beliefs for personal success. This tutorial will show you 4 strategies to remove limiting beliefs. Self-sabotage is the biggest block to personal success. Limiting beliefs need to be replaced with convictions for future progress. Below are 4 techniques to eradicate limiting beliefs so you can quickly move forward with your goals. Number 1. Identification. The first step in removing limiting beliefs is identification. There are many online questionnaires that you can download and fill out to identify where your limiting beliefs are. There is a wide mix of positive and negative beliefs, so it can definitely help to see where you need to improve. Often, people can have strong beliefs in one area and weak beliefs in another. Some people can have no problems with manifesting money, but recurring relationship issues, and vice versa. Number 2. Affirmations and repetition. After you have found your negative beliefs, write them out. Next, write out the opposite or corrected belief. You can write these positive corrections out each day. But for the best results, you should mentally repeat these affirmations to yourself as much as possible. Ideally, you want to repeat these beliefs either first thing when you wake in the morning, or alternatively, toward the end of a meditation session. In both cases, your brain is in a receptive mindset, and the positive beliefs are more likely to sink in. Number 3. Meditation. Sometimes it can be difficult to remove negative beliefs and replace them with positive ones, but meditation is an excellent intermediary step with many associated side benefits. Meditation allows the mind to attain a state of neutrality, where we are less polarized by outside events. In this manner, we can observe our limiting beliefs and over time disassociate from them. Meditation is a gradual process, and there are many more direct ways to attack limiting beliefs. Number 4. Unadulterated passion and manifestation. There is another way to remove limiting beliefs. It involves using the law of attraction to focus on what we really want to do. When a person becomes absolutely obsessed about something, all energy is diverted into this process. What typically happens is that we keep thinking about negative thoughts, which reinforces our negative beliefs. But a belief is simply a deeply held conviction we have about something we have thought about frequently. When we are able to focus 100% on what we enjoy, the negative belief loses its momentum. This tutorial will outline the 5 creative strategies to expand the mental body. There are many strategies to expand the mind beyond the static practice of meditation. In fact, many of the creative ways to open your mind can have far more of an impact than conventional techniques aimed at stilling the mind. Number 1. Undertake a creative challenge. A creative challenge is something designed to stimulate your creative faculties. The best ways are writing and art. Commit to doing either of these for a significant time period, and you will be surprised at what you come up with. Try painting 100 paintings in a month. They don't have to be good, but the process of painting them will expand your mental awareness in various ways. Number 2. Do something you hate for 30 days. This is a strategy that works well for nearly everybody, and nearly everybody refuses to do it. But if you think of the one thing that you would never consider doing and do it intensely for 30 days, you will make major inroads to your own consciousness. If you hate poverty, live in a poor place for 30 days and talk to the locals. If you hate working out, go on a 30-day fitness regimen. What we hate are usually the things that generate the most breakthroughs when we get over our resistance to them. Number 3. Do something completely unconventional. The way that people think about creativity and intelligence is very limited. We don't learn simply from books and lectures. We learn all the time, even consolidating memories during dream time. We learn when cooking, cleaning, remembering, talking, meditating, writing, singing, dancing, etc. So feel free to take up cooking or Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu for a year to increase your mental faculties. Number 4. Bad brainstorming. Keep writing about things that you would never do or that would absolutely never work for you under any circumstances. When you do this long enough, you will find that there is something that you actually would do but never considered. This can work especially well with a partner. Number 5. Diet and exercise. Diet and exercise might seem like boring and irrelevant advice in terms of creativity, but you would be surprised how much of an effect food has on your consciousness. Try eating a single food type for 3 days and observe the effects. There are many ways to experiment with diet that are so underutilized. You could try a 3-day juice fast. Your creativity and thought patterns will be radically different from your standard diet. This demonstration will show you the 5 habits to master your mind. Learning to master the mind is no easy feat and often takes years of practice to make significant progress. However, some results can be seen in a few months, and it is better to start sooner rather than later. Number 1. Deep breathing. Many esoteric texts have advised on the importance of focusing regularly on the breath as a fast track to understanding the mind. When focused on the breath, the mind is not identified with external objects or internal thoughts. It is possible, with practice, to focus for longer and longer intervals on the breath, and thus disassociate from the mind. Number 2. Embrace yoga asanas. Yoga is a mix of breathing, physical postures, and concentration. It is an excellent practice to master the mind because it involves so many moving parts. When a yoga sun salutation is executed properly, it rarely is in the West, the student is in a trance-like state of flow, and an hour-long routine is executed effortlessly. This takes years of intense dedication, but over time, the internal resistance is removed. Number 3. Meditate regularly. Meditation is the direct observation of thoughts. Our minds are so used to constantly thinking about things nonstop that they do not know how to shut down. They think on autopilot instead of being still so we can have peace. When we observe how useless and dysfunctional most of our thoughts are, often unfounded fears over money or relationships, we can then focus our efforts on thinking less and redirecting our thoughts on what we want to manifest. Number 4. Solitude. Solitude entails removing yourself from society for an extended period of time. Ideally, you would be out in nature, meditating, exercising, and taking a good diet for additional benefits. All of these will help to quieten the mind. Often when we meditate, we achieve periods of stillness during the meditation, only to immediately fill our minds up again. With a silent retreat, the results compound between meditation sessions and during them. Number 5. Renew yourself with inspiration. It is very easy to give up your dreams in the daily struggles of life. Always remember to have a YouTube channel or a book that fills you with inspiration. This is vitally important, as it will give you hope for the future. Read inspirational material and expand your awareness where possible. Just be very selective in what you assimilate, as there is far more garbage than quality material on the internet. 7 traits of personal mastery demonstrated by business leaders. In this presentation, we will observe the key traits exhibited by business leaders. They come from all continents and backgrounds. Yet there are a number of characteristics that all business leaders have that set them apart from the rest of the population. Try to mimic these traits where possible for personal mastery. Number 1. Independence. Business leaders are all independent. They cannot rely on conventional wisdom or depend on other people in order to get things done. When launching a business, everything hangs on the owner and nothing can be left to chance. Number 2. Resilience. Every successful endeavor involves a series of setbacks. Business leaders have to exhibit remarkable personal strength in order to deal with what happens and focus on where they need to go. This is one trait that a business leader cannot go without. It is how we respond to problems that determines our success. Number 3. Aggression. In the world of business, it is necessary to stand your ground and defend your empire, no matter how large or small. Commerce is a very tough field, and there are many predators trying to encroach on your territory. It is easy to get fooled with positive thinking and embrace an inclusive mindset. In practice, this just does not work out in the business world. Number 4. Accountability. Business leaders never point the finger. If one of their associates does something wrong, the business leader blames himself or herself for not seeing such a weakness. In this way, the leader will take responsibility for everything, which indicates that he or she is the master of what happens, and not external circumstances. Accountability is ultimately an empowering mindset. Number 5. Creativity. Successful business leaders will all use some kind of creative faculties to do things in a different way than anybody has done before them. Following the patterns of other people can never lead to true success, which comes from inspiration and innovation. Number 6. Drive. All business leaders will have significant energy in order to achieve their aims. They must have a deep vision or goal that pushes them to succeed. A business leader will always be energetic, mainly due to their inner passion. Number 7. Decisiveness. Business leaders tend to make decisions promptly and do not delay. They cannot afford to be indecisive, which is often seen as a weakness. While they can also be patient on certain issues, when they have the information, they are quick to take action. How to use both the law of attraction and shadow work for personal mastery. There is a constant struggle within certain spheres between positivity and shadow work. The positive psychology advocates argue that if you focus on what you do not want, it will persist. The shadow side, and the Jungian argument, is that we must delve deep into our psyche and observe what we find. The truth is that we need to use both of these strategies to succeed, though they might appear at odds with one another. How to balance two opposite ideologies. Many people who have tried the law of attraction find that there are recurring issues that keep cropping up, and they have also discovered that sitting with these issues and integrating them is the only thing that dissolves them fully. This goes right against the law of attraction, where we only focus on what we want at all times. When we focus on what feels good, we tend to attract more of it, and the positivity gains momentum. This has been repeated in many observational studies, where people who are actively practicing positive psychology tend to have more success, better finances, better interpersonal relationships, better health markets, increased emotional intelligence, and greater cognitive capacity. What to do? It goes without saying that we need to be positive and keep a bright outlook on life. This can include anything from affirmations to keeping a journal of things that we appreciate. This works to a large degree and will help our lives far better across many different vectors. Yet at the same time, we cannot afford to repress deep and hurtful energies that are within us. These negative emotions have to be expressed one way or the other. When these deeply buried emotions reveal themselves, it can be overwhelming and you may break down. But this is a necessary part of the healing process. When an emotion starts to come up, the last thing you want to do is ignore it by busying yourself with another activity. The most effective strategy is to meditate and effectively integrate this energy, meeting it directly. So try to keep a positive orientation as much as possible, using the best positive psychology practices. At the same time, acknowledge and integrate deep emotions as they arise, and engage in techniques to bring deep issues to your conscious awareness. There is nothing stopping you from engaging in both positive psychology and shadow work. You will be far stronger doing both as opposed to doing one. The 3 best ways to investigate the subconscious mind. In this tutorial, we will see how to investigate the subconscious. The subconscious mind has been brought to the public awareness as something that we all need to address. Otherwise, the subconscious mind, sometimes called the unconscious mind, will govern our thoughts and actions without us even realizing it. There are 3 proven ways to look into our subconscious, and they should be intensely completed until we get definitive results. Some analysts have indicated that 88% of what we do is governed by the subconscious, and we need to bring more of this to the conscious field to enjoy a life of personal mastery. Number 1. Meditation. In meditation, we still the mind so that it is not constantly chattering with random ideas. Over time, the mind quiets, and we start to observe deeper thoughts which tend to dissolve as we observe them. Without sitting back and observing our thoughts, we tend to get lost in the daily activity of the world without making any real progress. People in deep meditation can often see images in their third eye. When the mind is still, it is also far easier to program ourselves with positive affirmations, and there is less resistance in static. According to one study, people who meditate regularly have a better understanding of their subconscious mind, scientifically termed metacognition capabilities. Number 2. Art and creative writing. Art and writing are the best ways that we can see our unconscious actions. This is because creative activities often leave the logical mind behind. The logical mind typically blocks out what we don't want to see about ourselves, so symbols and metaphors are used for subconscious messages. Over time, certain patterns may be observed in art and writing. Additionally, such creative work serves to heal certain emotional wounds, as it is a form of expression for things we do not know how to express in modern society. Number 3. Studies and research. There have been many books and studies completed on the subconscious mind. These works are invaluable in terms of understanding how our own subconscious minds work. We can learn from scientific discoveries how best to manipulate and investigate our own subconscious activities. Carl Jung and Sigmund Freud are 2 of the greatest researchers in terms of the mind and made significant discoveries. For Jung, dreams, symbols, and archetypes play a large role. We can document our dreams and draw symbols for subconscious processing. In this presentation, we will demonstrate the 3 primary differences between emotional intelligence and mental strength. Both traits need to be balanced in order to maintain a healthy lifestyle, and one is not better than the other. Everyone needs a mix of mental stability and emotional intelligence. Number 1. Self-centric versus focused on others. Emotional intelligence is concerned with how you relate to others. Typical traits of emotional intelligence include compassion and empathy. People with significant emotional intelligence are able to feel the emotions of others and tune into them. In this way, they can be able to make better decisions. However, emotional intelligence can often be a curse for people who feel they have to help everybody else. Some people with emotional intelligence can be taken advantage of. People with mental strength are able to objectively analyze situations and can be more detached and objective. With just mental strength, there is no real motivation to help other people. Unless we can really feel the pain of others, there is no pure incentive to help. Number 2, present versus future. People with mental strength will be able to plan for the future and are more logical in their approach. People with emotional intelligence tend to live for the present moment. This is because emotionally intelligent people understand what makes them happy, while mentally strong people focus on achieving goals. However, emotionally intelligent people can actually process emotions faster than those who are mentally focused, which can be a benefit in times of stress. What often happens is that the mentally strong individual can repress emotions and live an inwardly unhappy life while achieving much in the outer world. Number 3, goals versus processes. Mental intelligence is generally results-oriented. Emotional intelligence will focus more on creative processes to achieve an end, though the process is often viewed as more important than the goal itself. Mentally strong people can better regulate their thoughts and emotions to achieve a goal or objective, but can be more detached in life as they constantly live for the future. Mentally strong people can also get rid of limiting beliefs or habits more easily, as they will have increased willpower. It is misleading to think that mental strength is superior to emotional intelligence. Without emotions, life would not be worth living. It is feelings that give life its vitality, and mental satisfaction is a very poor alternative to fully integrated life. The 5 things you never knew about your own psychology. In this presentation, we will demonstrate some tendencies people have that they fail to understand about themselves. We know surprisingly little about our own minds and evaluate ourselves as smarter than our peers when it is often not the case. Number 1, you are insane by spiritual standards. According to many Zen practitioners and Buddhist monks, the typical human is completely insane. It is only when the mind is mastered to a significant degree that people realize how crazy their everyday actions actually are. The mind is a wild jungle until it is tamed with thoughts that go to and fro with little rhyme or reason. Number 2, your perspective is selfish. Many people hate it when they are cut off on the freeway or when a waiter is rude to them. But when they are the person doing the action, we often justify it to ourselves as a once-off phenomenon because we are having a hard day. We tend to put blame on other people instead of just accepting life the way it is and assuming that the other person has a valid reason for behaving in such a way. The actions are always logical from a personal point of view. Number 3, your attention span is very low. According to all the latest scientific studies, people can only intensely concentrate for a period of 10 minutes. However, they often report in studies being able to concentrate for far longer. Additionally, our brains wander for over 30% of the waking day, meaning that much of our time is spent unproductively. Some people spend even more time daydreaming than others. Number 4, you make most of your decisions subconsciously. Most of the daily decisions you make are made by the subconscious mind. Otherwise, your conscious mind would be overwhelmed with the decision it has to make. This is because the conscious mind is quite limited, capable of storing only 5 to 9 pieces of information at once. And though you may not know it, advertisements have a huge impact on the subconscious, even advertisements you have no interest in. Number 5, you can observe your own mind. By using meditation and other practices, it is easy to watch the mind at work. People often identify with their thoughts and emotions when their true self is completely separate. After significant time is spent observing the mind, a sense of detachment is cultivated. Observing the mind in action is the first step towards freedom. The mind can also do certain things when the brain has been shut down, indicating that the mind is more than just physical matter.